All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Sam. I'm joined by Levi today. We're going to be playing a classic Rhinar versus Azalea matchup. I'm sure you guys see that all the time. It's a very fun matchup. I do think it is Rhinar favored, but it is pretty close to a 50-50. Levi, what do you think?
When you say it's a fun matchup, that's emphasis on it's fun for Rhinar.
It's very fun for Rhinar.
It's a scary matchup. I think it still is pretty close to 50-50. Rhinar's Intimidates just takes a lot of the decisions away from us on how we're blocking.
Yeah.
So it feels like a struggle.
So for siding for me, I've tested both the club and the claw variant. I like the claw variant a little more just because I can play at my own pace and I don't have to be paced to him. He is sided up to 71 cards, right?
I actually sided back down for this game. I'm gonna try.
Okay.
I still haven't found a good sideboard strategy for this matchup.
Yeah, so he is afraid of fatigue because I can fatigue him, but also I do have just my pure damage as a win condition. So the claw variant allows me to push a lot harder with my blood rushes as opposed to my club, where it allows me to defend better, but I can't really apply the pressure that I want to with my claws. I'm sided just with Sink Below's added with my Pulpings out because he sides a lot of defense reactions, and Pulping does not work very well when you're swinging into someone with a defense reaction in their arsenal. So, all right, low roll 3. Okay, and I'm crazy, so you win.
I'll take first.
Okay, in this matchup, whoever wins the die roll wants to go first.
Right, because yeah. Going first is stronger because his intimidates and my potential dominates. So this isn't the strongest hand. However, I will see what I can do. I'm going to go ahead and pitch 2 for Death Dealer. Move a hamstring shot into the arsenal and draw. At this point, we're going to come in with a Ravenous Rabble, trying to find an arrow on top. No luck. Coming in for 1 with Go Again.
Ooh, 1 damage. I will take the 1 damage, I think.
All right. Wait, health. I'll take 1. Then, unfortunately, as much as I would like to save this, I'm going to just play it out. So we're going to come in with a hamstring shot for 7. 1 in hand, nothing floating.
So I actually do want to use this hand to push damage on him, but if it was a first turn hand, it would be crazy. Second turn, not so much. So at this point, I think I need to just throw everything and block it out and just call it a day. Because if I let it hit, it won't even let me do what I wanted to do in the first place. So it pains me, but I'll just block for 9.
All right, I'm going to Arsenal and pass the turn.
Okay. All right, we'll go up. Well, this is not ideal. That sucks. I'm gonna roll Scabs, just because my hand doesn't really do much anyways, and if I lose my turn, it doesn't really matter that much anyways, so 2, okay. Allows me to do a little bit. So I will pitch 3 to swing for a claw for 3. 1 floating.
So I've got an interesting hand that can potentially push a lot. But it feels like it's going to be awkward to play. So I just have to decide if I want to block here, and I think I do. I'm going to go ahead and pass block and any reactions?
No.
Alright, I'm going to use a defense reaction from the take cover.
Okay, are you arsenaling?
No.
Okay.
I'm afraid of the Command and Conquer.
Okay. So, since that is the case, I do have a few decisions to make here that could impact my next turn. So I think I'm actually going to go the safer route and pitch another Just for Another Claw for 3.
I will take the 3.
Okay. And then I'm just going to Arsenal and pass.
Alright, taking me to 37. It also turns off his skull cap, which will be nice for this next turn. Alright, Tunic goes up. I'm going to pitch a take cover for Death Dealer. Move Ridge Rider Shot into the arsenal and draw a card. Ridge Rider effect to opt. Don't mind if I do. We will leave it on top. I'm going to play a red take aim. I'm going to activate Azalea's ability. Moving a red in the ledger into the arsenal, giving it Dominate. And then I will pitch and come in with a red in the ledger for 8 with Dominate. 2 resources floating, 1 in hand.
So not much you can really do about that. So I guess I'm just going to be... I'll just block for 4, and I won't sink a card, so I'll take 4.
Alright, and then I will arsenal a card and prepare to get CNC'd.
No, that would be great though. Yeah, it's just gonna be a claw for 3. And that's gonna be my turn after that.
I think I want to save my full hand, so I am going to take 3.
Arguably, this might not be the right play because it does now turn off my skull cap again, but I just need to put damage through just so that I'm not falling too far behind.
Yeah, and so I'm very happy that I drew a hand that can actually do something with a full grip. Unfortunately, Azalea, with all the defensive things and different arrows, you sometimes struggle to use a full hand if your opponent doesn't threaten very much. So going into the turn, Tunic went up. I'm going to use the Cross Wrap to reveal the Ravenous Rabble and opt a card. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on top. I'm then going to play a Ravenous Rabble red, revealing a Remorseless on top. Coming in for 4 with go again.
Probably gonna shoot a Remorseless at me. So I will just take the damage.
Alright, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Red Ravenous Rabble.
Take the damage. I've already committed, so I have to block for what I'm expecting to come at me.
Alright, and then next we're going to pitch to move Ridge Rider Shot into the arsenal, draw the Remorseless, and then opt a card with the Ridge Rider.
Yeah.
I have 1 resource floating. Now the question is, do I want to get greedy with this? I think I do. I've seen him be committed to not blocking. So I'm going to assume that that's his game plan. We're going to come in with a Ridge Rider for 3.
No block.
I'm going to attack reaction Snapdragons.
Yep, and I figured he was going to do that, which is why, because I need to block the actual important card.
And we're going to play a take aim using just reload a card, and then spend the last resource to come in with the Remorseless for 8.
Okay.
You can use defense reactions from Arsenal. It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. So, yeah, this damage was going to hit regardless of what I did. I just needed to guarantee that if it was going to be coming, if an on-hit was going to be coming in that I could potentially block, I needed the option to do so. But since I cannot anyway, I'll just block for 3 and take the 5.
Okay.
So that was a lot of damage for me. I'm probably not going to win this game at this rate unless I really draw into some good stuff.
Spoilers.
I am just very far behind. So I will play the Blood Rush, which is going to make me now neg, which is very sad. So 6, Massacre, does not get its effect. 1. So I'll draw 2. Yeah, this is just all around not good for me. Claw for 5.
3 in hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no block any reactions.
Nope.
Alright, I'm going to defense reaction a sink below,
Okay.
and I will not sink a card.
Okay.
So I'm taking 1.
Yep. Pitch 3 for Mandible Claw for 5 with 1 floating.
Pass block, and then on reactions use the sink below.
Okay.
Take 1.
And then I'm just gonna arsenal a card and pass.
It's actually kind of disappointing. I was hoping he'd swing again because my hand does not do anything.
Just
So I wanted to block.
And I got that impression, which is why I stopped.
Yep. All right. So on my turn, I am going to arsenal a card and pass.
Okay, so now this game has definitely changed tempo because he had a very good off turn and I had a decent aggression turn, and I'm going to have another one right after the other. So, odds, evens. So I hit my pack hunt, intimidate 2, drawing up to 2. And we're going to do the same thing, claw for 5. This time it's going to be a little bit different.
It is. I'm going to say no block.
Okay. He's going to take his 5. Pitch 2 for another claw for 5.
I'll say no block.
Okay. And now to end it really bad for him, I'm going to play Command and Conquer.
I expected such, which is why I save 2 3 blocks in hand, and I will block for 6.
Okay. So as you can see, just like that, we're almost back to normal health again. And that's kind of what you need in this scenario with Rhinar, especially when he's been just pressing so hard. Go ahead.
So, I'm curious if he's willing to throw his hand in front of this, which he probably is, but I think it's still my best play. I'm going to start with the cross rep to opt. I'm going to leave it on top. Then I'm going to play a plunder run, and then we're going to E-strike for 10.
Now that's a lot of damage right there. Almost makes me want to use my armor because, again, I don't know if I'll get the chance to use the armor with my skull cap again like this. My next turn isn't amazing, so I don't really care too much. In case we do go to fatigue, I think I do want to throw... I want to throw these cards in front. So I will block for 6 and then 10 with my remainder.
All right. And I will pass over to you.
Okay. And now I'm going to throw another card at him that he doesn't really like to see. Cadaverous Contraband. So this is another 6 on hit. If it hits, I get to add a non-attack action to the top of my deck, which is going to be a Blood Rush.
Yeah.
Unless he defends this.
I think I might. We're going to say pass block and go to reactions.
Okay.
And I will play a Fate Foreseen, opting.
Yep.
And then I'm going to play a Take Cover, blocking 8.
Yep.
It's unfortunate I had to use 2 defense reactions, but I can't let him have another Blood Rush turn.
Go ahead.
Alright, my turn is going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to pitch 2 to activate Death Dealer, moving a Remorseless into the arsenal and drawing a card. Spend the last resource and come in with a Remorseless for 5.
Yeah, again, we're at a situation where I don't really care too much. I definitely want to just block it, I think. I won't be able to push too much crazy damage next turn. So, yeah, I'll just block 6.
Alright, I'm going to arsenal a card and pass.
Okay, Command and Conquer.
Let me draw up. So this is another nice part about Sigil of Solace, is you get to put it in the arsenal and make them think that they're threatening your arsenal. So I'm going to be blocking for 3, and I will also play a Sigil of Solace out of the arsenal.
Yep. So he takes nothing.
Right.
So this is, again, not going well for me at all. Nothing's really lining up other than my damage turns, which have been pretty subpar given the hands he's drawn. So,
Alright, on my turn I'm going to pitch 2 to activate Death Dealer, moving red in the ledger into the arsenal, drawing a card. I'm then going to play a Ravenous Rabble yellow, revealing a hamstring shot, coming in for 3 with go again.
yep, block 3.
Alright, so I've seen he's blocking, which means this red in the ledger doesn't really do anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and save it for later, using Azalea's ability, and give the hamstring shot Dominate, and then come in for 5 with Dominate.
Just block for 3, taking 2.
Alright, and I will arsenal a card and pass.
Claw for 3.
You pitched a blue?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll block 3.
Okay, go ahead.
Start of my turn, I'm going to use the cross wrap to opt. And that's going to go to the bottom. I'm then going to play the sigil, gaining 3. Next, I will pitch a searing shot to activate Death Dealer, drawing a card. Then I'm going to play Nimblism, spend the Tunic resource, and come in with Red in the Ledger for 8 without Dominate.
Yeah.
So the idea here is just kind of keep him in a spot where he has to block with 2 cards if he wants to play a turn, which then he doesn't get to play a turn if he blocks with 2. So I've been able to do that the last few turns.
So again, I still have my skull cap, which I want to use it now, so I will use the skull cap, block 3, and then 8 with the sink below.
Sure. Just fine. We got another piece of equipment, which equipment is very annoying for Azalea, so every time it gets used, we're happy.
So I'll play Barraging. 2. And then pitch 3 for a claw for 3 or 6.
This is a bit unfortunate. But I think my best play is to just block 3. Since I didn't block with 2 cards from the hand, I'm going to go ahead and take 3.
And I'll just Arsenal and pass.
Alright, on my turn, Tunic is going to go up. And the reason I didn't want to block with a lot is because I'm going to be playing a Plunder Run out of the arsenal after I cross-wrap first. And I want to know what, or I want to be able to send multiple threats. So if I blocked with too much, I wouldn't get as much value out of it. So we're going to go ahead and leave that on top with the opt, play the Plunder Run, and then come in with a Ravenous Rabble for 7.
Yeah, this is just all around bad. There's no other way to put it. Like I said, I mean, the entire game I've been pretty on the back foot, and I haven't really been able to have a turn where I can really flip the tempo. So I need to decide, this is the turn where I need to decide if I'm going to try to attempt to block out so he doesn't get the draw from the Plunder Run, or I need to just accept the damage and then hope I can push back with something next turn, which looks rather unlikely as well. So I think I have to just go for what I feel is the best thing for me, so I'll block for the 7.
Alright.
So this keeps his Fate Foreseen on top, so it locks him out of an Azalea dominated arrow. So I still have the option to block with multiple cards.
So I think my best play here is I'm going to pitch 1 for Death Dealer, moving a Searing into the arsenal and draw. I could have done it the other way, but I think I'd prefer to give him the option of giving me the Tunic. He didn't want to use or 2 cards, because he didn't want to use a defense reaction last time, which would have been ideal, but he didn't, which makes me think he doesn't have one. So coming in for 4 is threatening the draw again.
And so I did that on purpose to make him think that, which is why I do have the defense reaction.
Fancy. Which was also the other reason for this line, is I get to keep this. The other way I would have come in with the Sleep Dart and I would have had to pitch the Fate Foreseen. But now I get to sit this into my arsenal and pass over to you.
So now again I have another on-hit threaten with the Cadaverous, so that kind of makes him sad. He's used up a lot of defense reactions already. Chances are he probably still has a few. I know he does.
Yeah, you know I have a defense
I know he has a lot, but I would ideally like him to have to block this inefficiently.
Yeah, so we are going to block for 3, and then defense reaction blocking 7, and opting, and planning out my turn. I think I want to leave it on top.
So we knew he had the Fate Foreseen, but there wasn't really much we could do about it, so.
Alright, my turn, Tunic goes up. I'm going to pitch 2 for a Come to Fight, moving a Sleep Dart into the arsenal and draw. I've got 1 resource floating. I will then play a Knock the Death Whistle. And this is where him not having equipment is nice, because I can then grab a red in the ledger. And so his option is Sink Below plus Tunic, or Get Hit. Or I guess Reckless Swing plus Tunic. But regardless, the red in the ledger is a lot more threatening now with Dominate. That's going to go on top. And then we're going to activate Azalea, moving red in the ledger into the arsenal, giving it Dominate. And then I'm going to come in for 5 with Dominate.
Yep, block 3, take 2.
All right. And over to you. Arsenaling and over to you.
Oh, I actually messed that up. I was supposed to block with a different card. Yeah. I thought it through in my head and I did the wrong thing. I guess I could go a little bit weird. It doesn't really matter at this point. For a claw for 3.
I want to keep this whole hand, so I'm going to take 3.
Yeah. So this is the point where I've missed too many opportunities to swing back, and I'm probably on the back foot of this game. So I don't see this going well for me.
So my tunic's going to go up. While he's saying that, I'm also looking and realizing I'm coming back to my pitch, which means I have to make sure that I can still push through 14 damage with what's left here. Likely can, but it is a slight concern. So I need to realign my gameplay and make sure that I can find the dominates when I need them. So we're going to start off with the cross wrap to opt. I think that's decent. No, I'm going to put it to the bottom. Then I'm going to play the sigil, gaining 3. Next, I will pitch 2 for Death Dealer, moving a Ridge Rider into the arsenal and drawing. Ridge Rider effect opt. That is quite nice to see. I'm going to go ahead and activate Azalea's ability, moving a Sleep Dart into the arsenal with Dominate. Then I will play a Nimblism and spend my remaining resource to come in with a Sleep Dart for 8 with Dominate.
Yeah. Really, nothing I can do about this. I guess I just block 3.
All right, you'll take 5. I will arsenal a card and pass over to you.
All right. I'm barraging, and then I'll be clawing you, so go ahead and 3. Coming in for 7 or 3.
No, this is annoying because I actually need most of the hand. So I think the correct way to do this is to pass block and then just block 4 with the Fate Foreseen.
Yep.
Taking 3.
And I will just drop.
And I'm going to opt off the Fate Foreseen, and I'll leave it there. Alright. I'm just going to play a Plunder Run out of the arsenal. Then I'm going to play a Take Aim, using the effect to reload. I will then play a Memorial Ground.
Yeah.
Putting a red in the ledger on the top of the deck. Activate Azalea. Spend the Tunic, and come in with a red in the ledger for 11 with Dominate.
Yeah, block 3. Take 8.
Alright, and I'll draw off Plunder Run and Arsenal this card.
All I can do is just Alpha Rampage.
Let me draw up.
So it's going to be 2 Intimidates, 4 and 1, and then coming in for 9. At this point in the game, it's over. My damage is completely irrelevant to him. He has the tempo, and there's too much of a health gap for me to make a difference. So he could just take the damage for all he cares, and then just kill me next turn. Which I think is probably the right play to do.
Yeah, it's likely what's going to happen here. I'm just trying to make sure that I have it. Because he's had that card in the arsenal. It's possible he would have just held a defense reaction, but I can't see him doing that. No, that doesn't seem likely. So I think... that... I think I'm okay to block 3.
Okay.
So I'll take 6.
Yep, go ahead.
And so my turn, it's going to be... we're going to use the cross wrap to opt. I guess I'll also take my tunic, even though it's not really that relevant. I guess we'll ink it to the bottom. I will then play the Memorial Ground.
Yeah.
And we're going to grab a Remorseless on the off chance that he did hide that defense reaction in the arsenal. Here I'm going to go ahead and play the Bullseye Bracers to load a Searing Shot into the arsenal. I'm going to pitch 3 to play a Come to Fight. Activate Azalea.
Yeah, that's game.
Yeah.
I can't block
7
that.
dominate.
Yep. So yeah, I mean that's basically Azalea's win condition for this matchup is to snowball and just keep the pressure and make sure that my turns that can apply pressure aren't that relevant. Which I think for one of the Blooders turns you had a lot of defense reactions to block out most of the damage.
You were under Remorseless.
I was under Remorseless. So yeah, that game just kind of lined up where I couldn't really get out of I couldn't flip the tempo back, and it just is what it is. So
yeah, I was obviously just trying to push damage early on, and once I got down to like the 15 range is where I made sure that I was setting up to line up my dominates. You're also pitching the Memorial Grounds and the Knock the Death Whistles early to make sure that I have those dominate options on the later turns. Obviously, it was much easier than usual because when you get down to those later turns, if you're on like 2 health, you can't really you can't use a full hand to dominate an arrow because you have to block. So when you have the health to spare, it makes finding dominated arrows a lot easier.
and usually he wouldn't be in that situation, but
Right.
I just couldn't never find my footing. So yeah, it's basically how the matchup goes. Typically Rhinar has a little bit of a better showing in terms of his presence in the matchup, but yeah, that's basically how it goes. So if you guys want to see more gameplay with Rhinar or Azalea, feel free to let us know, and I hope you all have a great day.
Yeah.